Hello and welcome to today's European SharePoint, Office 365 and Azure Community webinar. My name is Ella and I'm delighted to be joined by Lisa and Fabian from Docs42, who will be talking to you today about Let's Power Automate all your Microsoft 365 and Dynamics 365 documents with one click or flow. Remember to join the conversation about today's webinar on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @EuropeanSP and our hashtag is ESPC21. Don't forget to check out the Resource Centre. The Resource Centre is updated daily with the latest blogs, ebooks, webinars and how-to videos. Be sure to join us at the end of October for Modernize Your Oracle Workloads to Azure SQL. Also, a big thank you to our webinar sponsors, Docs42 and PointFire.
Hey you! In the session you will see all about the great options of the Microsoft technologies. But what about generating documents in the Microsoft ecosystem? Like quotes, reports, emails, PowerPoints and others. The challenges usually are many different data sources, an intuitive design in Microsoft Office, and of course generating the documents where the user needs them. In SharePoint, the Power Platform, Teams or Dynamics. Docs42 can do all of it. Try now yourself.
Hi, I'm Martin from PointFire. This year I was hoping to entice you with a booth, games, prizes, giveaways. Instead, we have this short video to show you how we make the multilingual page publishing feature even better. It's so easy, the demo only takes a few seconds.
With SharePoint's new feature, your staff still has to translate each page manually. By adding the PointFire translator, the pages get translated automatically for your approval. Go to try.pointfire.com for a free trial or contact us for a demo.
After the webinar, you'll have a question and answer session. Type any question you may have into the question window. Questions will be selected and answered at the end of the presentation. This webinar will be recorded and you'll be notified by email when it is available. So now I'm going to pass you over for today's webinar to Fabian and Lisa. Hello.
So welcome everyone to our webinar today. I just share my screen quickly. Can you see my screen already?
Yeah, I can see the PowerPoint. If you can just make a full screen then when you're ready.
Great. So welcome everyone to our webinar. Today we will talk all about document automation in M365 and D365. In this session, we would like to show you how you can save your time, your nerves, and also your energy and your budget by automating your documents, your recurring documents, instead of creating them manually. My name is Fabian. I'm Senior Technical Evangelist at Docs42, and I was involved in a lot of projects regarding document automation, so I'm so happy to share my knowledge today with all of you together. And I'm not alone. I'm joined by my colleague Lisa, and she's our expert when it comes to Flow, Power Automate, and I'm so happy to be here together with her. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Fabian. Fabian is just sitting right across of me, so like, hi, Fabian, and hello to everyone else who is joining us on the call. Thank you for that introduction, Fabian. I'm Lisa. I'm also Senior Technical Evangelist, and we've prepared a lot of cool demos for you today. You will see a lot of SharePoint, Flow, Power Automate, and we've prepared something even, is it cooler, or also something very cool, which you can see here right now. So you can win something by participating in the session today, and by participating to the quiz we have. So just scan the QR code. We will also post the link in the chat later on, so you can also still fill in later. Just pay very close attention to what we're showing you today, and then with a little bit of good luck, you will have the Starbucks Lego delivered right to your doorstep. But good, so much for that. Fabian, what have we actually prepared for today?
Yeah, so first, may the force be with you, and now we jump back into our presentation. What is the agenda for today? So in the beginning, I would like to introduce a bit the thing about document automation. What is it actually? Then I have 1 or 2 slides about Docs42 that you get a little overview what we are doing, and then you can see there live demo. We have a lot of live demo scenarios, and we basically start with one employee contract scenario. I usually was working in the HR department, so that's one of my favorite topics, just generating documents with 1 click. You will see it there with the employee contract. Then we will show you the template design a little bit, we will change a little bit, and then of course we let the work flow by Flow or Power Automate, we let the work do by Flow or Power Automate, and Lisa will show you and give you a little deep dive into our connectors and also how it works, how the setup is working with Flow and Power Automate. And as many of you are also definitely, I assume, working in D365, for example, we have a quote scenario. So we will generate a quote from Dynamics CE, integrating data from SharePoint. And if there is time at the end, we have a last scenario, it's a PowerPoint scenario. We will see if we can manage every of them. And we reserve also a little time at the end, so maybe 5 to 10 minutes about the Q&A section. So if you have any questions, as Ella already told you, please put it into the chat. We will answer all of them. If we cannot manage to answer all of them, then you can send them to us via email, of course. Good. But we would like to do it interactive. Lisa already had a barcode with the Lego, so right now we also have a barcode here. Please take out your phone, just scan the barcode and answer the following question. Do you already know Docs42? And also Lisa is putting the link into the chat of the panel. So just if you would like to answer the questions, because we are very keen to know if you already know Docs42. And this is the question. So we will see, is there anyone answering already? So the people are answering, a lot of them, 6 already. Wow, it's getting high and high. So we see.
Just, I'm not sure if I'm able to post the link actually in the chat so the attendees can see it. I don't know if I have all the rights. So Ella, if you can please check that.
And also I share it here one more time again. So you guys, you can just use your phone. That's the easiest way to participate during the quiz. So we see a lot of don't know Docs42. I assume there will be coming more answers, more and more. So guys, last chance. We have another question. So leave your phone next to you, please. There's another one. I see, Lisa, that's a very good thing. Nobody knows Docs42 so far, or 2 from the SPC. That is great. So guys, that's good that we're here, because after that session, I'm sure you will know Docs42, and still the people are joining. That's great. Okay, perfect. So we jump back. Thank you for participating. There will be another question, as I said. So please keep your phone ready for the next question. But my thing, what is document automation? And I have one good news. I assume that you are working at least with one of these apps or systems when you're joining this webinar. So we see here SharePoint, Teams, or of course other ERP systems, finance operations, BC, or could be any ERP or CE system. Whenever you have structured data, that means in your structured data, you can automate your documents, because that's what you can take the data from the system into the document and generate it automatically. So when we're talking about documents, we definitely have very different scenarios. We have contracts, as we said. We also have sales quotes, of course. We have order confirmation, sales presentations. We have a lot of customers using PowerPoint presentation, automating PowerPoint presentations, and whatever you need. Whenever you need good-looking documents that has to be delivered quickly and in high quality to the customer, that's a very good use case then for Docs42. And now we will see what, in my experience, when it comes to document generation in real business life. And of course, we have copy-paste, which is actually a great way to create individual documents. And it's also flexible, of course. But if you have to generate 100 or 1,000 contracts a month, then this is not the best way to generate your documents, because it's a very error-prone task. And it was at the same time when I was working in the HR, I did the mistakes. I had to open SAP, take the data from the system into Word templates, and after you have done the 100 seconds contract, you will do a mistake or an error, and that's not a good way. And also, people are not no machines, so that's not the best way to generate your documents. Then you have some colleagues, they are building some VBAs, macros, apps, which is good because you have your first level of automation. That's okay, you still are flexible and individual, but when it comes to a huge number of documents, or when it comes to intelligent with business, including business logic into your documents, or 600 pages reports, then you might wait 2 weeks until this document will be generated. So it is, for some use cases, is okay, but it's not the best way for any of your documents. And also, you cannot adapt anything if the guy who builds who has built the VBAs is leaving the company. This project is more or less done because nobody can maintain anything anymore. And then we have in Microsoft World SSRS, standard report service, which is the performance is there. You have server-side automation, you have 24/7 performance. This is good, but when it comes to flexibility or individuality, this is not a very good way because every document has to be programmed, and this is not very nice because IT is normally not well known for great designing. not every time, but sometimes definitely it's not the best way, and it's a very inflexible process in document generation. And we try to cover everything we would like to have: server-side automation and also flexibility when it comes to template generation. And this is definitely possible with Docs42, as when you see these 3 departments, you have most of the time IT, when working with Docs42, they are creating a data map, the data structure, then the business departments can directly work with in-office formats, and also marketing can do the corporate identity and everything directly in the office documents. And this process in document generation makes us very flexible and powerful. So we are sitting in Vienna, beautiful Vienna. We have over 100 partners. We are a sheer software developer, and we are working with 700 partners, and also we have some customers. You see a snippet from our reference customers here. Basically, the most important information is that we have customers across all industries, because any business process requires a document at the end, and that's the reason why, of course, we have customers across all industries. Our template design happens in Microsoft Office, and we can flexibly integrate a lot of data sources. And of course, the document output can also be configured as you wish. Now I have 2 scenarios, two reference customer scenarios. Quickly, I just would like to show you the manufacturing companies. For example, we have ABB. They are also using Dynamics CRM and also integrating SharePoint data. And basically, whenever, as I said, whenever you have a document which has to be high quality delivered to the hands of the customers, then it's a good use case. This is such as offers, orders, invoices, of course, also sales presentations, and employee contracts, of course. All these kind of documents is most of the time a very good use case to generate them with Docs42. And there's another scenario, and this is the reason why I'm selected this scenario is because Elena Schneider, with Transcomay, they also have a SharePoint scenario. She said the break-even point was reached after only 4 weeks. So you see there is a huge cost-saving potential. So regarding because efficiency gaining, and that's the reason why I would like to show it in this case. Of course, yeah, it's automating documents saves a lot of time and energy, as I said in the beginning. This is how it works. So basically, template design, as I promised, in Office, and you have the blue Docs42 data fields here, and then you can configure and trigger the generation process directly within your system. And we see it here in Dynamics 365 or SharePoint or wherever you need to generate your documents. And of course, the output can also be configured as you need. And you see you can integrate images. Of course, you can integrate diagrams, barcodes. You can make the tables dynamically. You can add conditions, barcodes. There are a lot of possibilities to also add some business logic into it. This is a little overview about the data sources that we have out of the box. So all these kind of data can be connected without any programming. You see it here, the SQL databases, of course, web services, Excel. Excel also is structured data, so you can get all the data from there. SharePoint, as we are in a SharePoint conference, SharePoint online or on-premise data source, no problem. SAP, even SAP data could be connected. We have the XML JSON data source. With this data source, you basically get the connection to any system, also for Salesforce or something like this. And we have the entire Microsoft Dynamics platform here. You see it as CECRM, online on-premise, BC, FO. So there are a lot of possibilities, and even, of course, Dataverse connector as well, and the custom data source. also the output. Now we have another question. So I hope the link will be in the chat in a second as well, or you have the barcode one more time. So based on what you are selecting right now, we could adapt our demo, because we have a lot of demo scenarios, and we will do it a little bit individually. So if everybody is just going for, let's quickly open it, overview. I just shared one more time again in the same way. So please, what technologies are you interested in? Now just go to responses, and then we will share the key one more time. So let's see what is coming. PowerApps is good. We prepared this. Power Automate as well. Teams, Lisa, that's good to know. Teams, that's very interesting for us. So we will adapt our demo a little bit.
We will definitely show a scenario from Teams then.
Exactly. And SharePoint, of course, that's for sure. Business Central is 0 FinOps, okay. And do we have any digital signing as well? Digital signing, there's one. So maybe if you have time, we can show you digital signing as well. So perfect. Then, Lisa, we will also show the team scenario.
Yes.
Thank you one more time again for participating in this quiz. And now we just have 2 or 3 slides, and then I promise we jump directly into the demo. So we had the quiz scenario, and what I would like to show you then is the output formats or output options that you have with our Docs42 server. We have a cloud service and also an on-premise version, so it's completely up to you and completely up to your strategy, how you would like to move forward. And of course, all the Office formats are possible, Word, Excel, and as I said, PowerPoint is more and more coming. So a lot of people are understanding that also PowerPoints, recurring PowerPoint documents, also even some financial reports that you have to copy paste every month or every week can be automated easily with Docs42. Of course, we have PDF formats, the so-called SharePoint action or even Teams action, you will see this one. And email action, of course, can be configured with a digital signing tool such as DocuSign or Scribble. And then we have developed, that's standing for DMS, so also you can use DMS, ECM, output actions, Dropbox action. So there are a lot of possibilities. You see it here on this slide. Good. So one more slide. We will cover all the Power Automate and of course flow scenarios here within SharePoint, but there are other workflow tools such as Firestart, such as Nintex K2, or any other workflow tool. So whenever a workflow needs a document, and that's most of the time at the end of a business process, then the workflow tool can trigger a Docs42 server and generate automatically the document. So just to tell you about this, you will see it with our Flow and PowerApps and Power Automate scenarios. That brings me to the demo slide. So as I said, just a quick recap, we will start with the employee contract and the template design. This is my part, and then I will hand over to Lisa. She will show you the flow and any other setups, and also the D365 CE quote, and also with flow. So there are a lot of entity scenario. We will add the teams here as well. Good. So let me jump into my SharePoint environment. And as I said, I used to work in HR. So let's now, I would like to, we have a pretty standard SharePoint list here. And what I would like to do is now, I would like to hire myself to Docs42. So I add a new employee here. That will be me. And then we will generate the contract for myself. In this case, I'm not using my email address. I'm using a dummy email address because then we can show you some email scenarios and something else. So that's Michaela. It's like this. I think it's H. It's wrong again. Sorry for this. Like this, perfectly. Now we will add any number, any telephone number, that's the real number, and I will select the position. In my case, I'm a sales manager, so I will be the sales manager. And sometimes a sales manager gets a special agreement. So what I love is, I love blue e-bikes. So I would like to have an e-bike because when I go to work, I need to cycle my bike. I have 11 kilometers, so it's better to go with e-bike than with a normal bike. So one e-bike is enough. And so I have a rich text field here, and I can really just use it as I need it and just say save, Now I have a blue e-bike as special agreement included. And then I have a salary. I'm not a very good negotiator, so let's go for 1,900. I'm happy with this in this case because I can work for Docs42, then that's enough for me. Now what happened? Basically, you see it here, there's a new employee, that's me. And usually when I was working for HR, I had to open the Word template and to integrate all the data into the contract. But now I would just click here and say Docs42. Then I have some output actions here. You see open PDF. The document can see the contract, or even I can just save it to a SharePoint library. I can send it via email, you see it, or send it via DocuSign to the customer. So a lot of possibilities, completely flexible to configure here. But for you, I would like to generate this contract and just return it as PDF to give you a quick overview how this contract could look like. And that's the way. So I just added a new employee, clicked on the button, the data will be drawn from the SharePoint into my document. I get my Fabian Huber PDF contract returned as PDF. And the contract looks like this. So you see it here, and the contract for Fabian Huber, table of content. Also, we have some information here, some address details, sales manager, and the salary, of course. So you see it here, that's basically just, here's my special agreement, that's basically the contract. And at the end, you see it here, there is a policy, and that's for the sales manager. This is a special policy. If you have different policies for different employees, you can draw them, because this is also a Word document. But before I just receive here, I jump into the template to show you the template that you understand how it works, basically. So the template was designed one time. So we go here to our Docs42 template list. The template is here in the template list stored, and also it's a Word template, of course. So let me open this one. Let me quickly check if this is the correct one. Yes, that's the correct one. We have a lot of templates. Of course, we are doing a lot of development. So let me open this one. And that's a normal Word template. You have your Docs42. Just quickly, the data map has to be downloaded quickly. So this one also. Now, we are here in Word, and what we have here is our Docs42 add-in. And with the add-in, we have a data map designer. This is where the data connection is happening. So I open the data map here. That basically shows all the data sources that we have seen before during the demo, during the slides. So you see Excel, the Dataverse, here is SharePoint, and there is Word, XML.json, and you see it here all the products and even some more. So you see, this is where you connect your data without any programming. So we did it here with our SharePoint employee list. And then after you configured everything here, you did the filtering, and you can insert data fields. So I go back here and jump to insert data field. And now you see all the information, all the data here. You can use your custom icons if you want to understand which data sources you would like to integrate. And I would like to add a new data field. So let's say here there is a barcode missing. So let me go for the employee list, and also the email address is supposed to be a barcode. So I just drag and drop the data into the document, and I can use it as a Word functionality. So if I need it in a different color, then I can change it. Or if I need it as a barcode, then I just click here on type and say, I would like to integrate a barcode. So then you select a dimension, and you can select between, I don't know, like 40 barcodes, I guess. So let's stick with the QR code. Click OK. Now the email address is added to the document as a barcode. And here you see this confidential for. So let's say I would like to have this one in red, because that's a very important phrase. So let me just go here and say red. And now the field, the title field, which is my name, will be delivered in red in the next generation process. So basically what I did, I added something. So what I would like to see now as the template designer is, of course, how does this document look like? So I can always generate the document. So I click here on Docs42 again to my ribbon, click on generate, and then I select my ID. In this case, it was 157. I generate the document and can see the changes immediately just locally on my client. that helps definitely in the designing process, of course. So whenever you add something, you can just generate and test it more or less. So here's the document. Here is now the red one, the red confidential, and also the barcode is included. And what I would like to do now is I would like to put the template to the generated documents side by side, that you can see what happened during the process. So let me see if this is synchronized. No, it's not. So let's try it one more time again. Sometimes it's not working like as I wish, but let me quickly change this one here. So sometimes the thing is not working as I wish. So one more time. This will work in a second. Yeah, perfectly. Here we are. So what you can see here, this is the generated document. This is the template. So the blue data field title is included. Then we see the table of content here. And the table of content also is extended automatically. So we have a third page. That's the policy at the end. So it will be extended automatically after the generation process. Then we have the red confidential form. Here it is. Then we have the title, for example. We said this one is supposed to be in bold. So Fabian Huber is printed as bold. Then also the barcode is included. Of course, we have the position sales manager. And then let me go further down. So you see maybe here is a point number 6, and here the number 7 is with the benefits, and the number 6 is missing here. So as I promised, you can add conditions to specific text blocks or around some data fields. And I added a condition here. I said, whenever the employee salary is above 2,000, then please integrate this point number 6 or chapter number 6, or even if it's below 2,000, then leave it empty. And you see it here, it's just directly left out because my salary is 1,900. And here as well, we said some benefits are for some managers, some are for here. This one exactly is just for the trainee, for example. So you can really add your conditions wherever you need them. And then let me go further down. Also here, the convenient is here included just for sales manager. This text block also is just included because I am a sales manager. That's why it is included here. There's my special agreement. And at the end, you see it here. It's one blue data field, and that's a Word document which will be included because I'm a sales manager and also contains my metadata, the employee and the position metadata. Clicking here on the button, you will see it's coming from SharePoint, and it is a Word document which is included and put together. And that's why our table of content has 3 pages because of this document and this header at the end. Good. What I would like to do now is one more thing. I showed you the template, but I would like to generate this document one more time directly in the system because I changed the template, and this one is now effective immediately. So I added the barcode, I added everything else. What I would like to do now is let me jump back to my modern employee contract list and regenerate this contract here quickly. And let's see how it looks like. So I click here on Open PDF to show you that the barcode is now included, and also the red confidential part. So let me open this one. Here it is. Template changed within seconds. We had added a barcode and also changed the color from metadata from SharePoint. Perfect. So basically, I feel very happy now to be hired at Data32. And I don't know, sometimes it could be better or easier to do it not even clicking on the button. What do you think?
I think, Fabian, you've done such a great presentation. You deserve a raise in salary. We're going to give you some more. Ella, can you please give me the right so I can show my screen?
Yeah, pass them over to you now. Perfect.
Yeah, so you should be able to see my screen now. And we are here on the SharePoint list again. So basically what Fabian has shown you right now is that we added here a new entry into our SharePoint list. We used Docs Predictor to generate a contract. He showed you the template and adjusted it. But me now, I'm also working in HR. I'm the hiring manager, so to say. And I think Fabian is doing a really good job. And I think he deserves more than 1,900 euros of salary. Let's give him 6,000 for a second. And I'm just here within my SharePoint list and I'm saving it. And now, of course, I need an updated contract. I need that reflected also in my contract. Fabian needs to sign it that he's actually being hired for 6,000 euros and not 1,900 euros. So I have a few options here. What I could do is I could once again click here on Docs42 and then I could regenerate the document, so to say, so let that Docs42 do the work. However, what I can also do is nothing. I can let Power Automate do the work, and this is what has happened in the background. So as soon as I changed the entry for Fabian, when I increased his salary, actually a Power Automate flow was triggered. It regenerated the document for us and stored it for us on SharePoint. We're using the SharePoint trigger and then also the Docs42 connector for that. Let's have a look. Let's go to the All Contracts library. And here we see a few seconds ago, we have a flow contract for Fabian Huber that was generated, so also with a dynamic file name, of course. And if we have a look down, we can see in this contract that he's earning 6,000 euros now. So Fabian, I hope you're happy with that.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
You're welcome. Good. So this has happened. We can see here the flow contract is added dynamic file name and also dynamic metadata. What has also happened is that a second flow was triggered, and that flow also generated the document and sent it to Fabian by email. And let's check out that email. Here we have it. And so we can see it's to Fabian. We used this email address as a demo email address before. Welcome on board, Fabian. We're Fabian Huber. Welcome as a new sales manager. Here a picture of the HR person. And basically what you can see here, this email text, this was also a Docs42 template designed in Word and then generated as an email. So if you're sending emails with Docs42, you can also use your own corporate identity, your corporate design. You can really design everything within Word. And in the attachment, we're having the contract once again for Fabian Huber, and here is 6,000 euro. We can also see here that there's now the 0.6 is there, the sentence is there, which we haven't seen before because now the condition is met. It's above 2,000 euro salary, so we have this point added. And of course, the numbers here are also in the correct way. Good. And this is how it looks like for the end user. Let's have a look behind the scenes and how that flow actually looks like. So if I now go to my Power Automate, and if I go to my flows, we can see here when an item is created or modified on the employee list. Here then Docs42 is called and an employee contract is generated by email. What we're using here is the Docs42 connector, which is now also available as a premium connector. So in that scenario, it's still a custom one, but it's exactly the same available as a premium connector. And I'm going to show that to you in a second. And here we say, okay, generate the document, use some dynamic IDs from SharePoint within that flow, and send that flow via email. Of course, we also have a designer that allows you to easily set up the string here. And if you want to try that yourself, Docs42 Power Automate, you would just go to Power Automate, to the connectors, search for Docs42, and then you can also add your Docs42 Premium connector to your flows. So if you just scroll down, it's available for every one of you. Where's the D? Here it is, Docs42, green arrow, very easy to recognize again. So that's our first flow scenario. Then I have really various ways on how I can really generate the contracts. So far we've seen directly from SharePoint using Docs42, then we've seen with a flow in the background, but there's another way. I could use a Power App. So if I'm, for example, out on my phone, I'm on a run, but Fabian really needs his contract right now, I could just have my phone ready and I could generate the contract from a Power App for him. Right now I'm just showing it to you on screen, but of course it would also work the same on your mobile. And basically here is our quick and simple Power App. I can go here to Fabian Huber. That's him. And then here I have all the details which I have also in my SharePoint list. I could still adjust it here. So I could say, yeah, Fabian, today I'm really, really nice. I'm actually going to give you 7,000 as a salary. That would first of all trigger the first flow again. We changed something. And then what I also do is I click on Generate Employee Contract. And now with the Power App, actually the employee contract was generated once again and stored for us in our SharePoint library. If we go to our contracts, you can see about a minute ago we have a contract here. Let's also quickly refresh here. It is already a few seconds ago. I have generated the contract for Fabian with the Power App, and now it's 7,000 euros. So see, that is updated. You can always be up to date with that. And then how is our Power App structured? Also there, for those of you who want to know behind the scenes and what is happening, here I'm within the Power Apps Studios, where I set up the Power App. I can go to my details screen, and basically here, if I go to Generate Employee Contract, that's an action button that's also triggering a Power Automate flow. And if we have a look at that one, we can see that Power Apps Employee Contract, the trigger point is on Power Apps. We then get the items from our SharePoint list. We go to apply to each, the value. We have a condition in there, and we said, okay, if the condition is met, if Fabian is there in the SharePoint list, then we're generating a document and with a dynamic title, with dynamic metadata, so to say, and we're going to save the document on SharePoint. So that's that scenario. Good. Then, so that's Power Apps, that's Power Automate. Then, of course, what Fabian has mentioned before is that Docs42 can really be used with any system. So far we have seen SharePoint, Power Apps, Power Automate, but Docs42 can mix. I hope you can still hear me well. There was just some technical thing in between. So basically, Docs42 can also work with Dynamics and with Dataverse. So if you're working with Dataverse, I'm also going to quickly show you a Dataverse flow. So basically, that Dataverse flow we're triggering from Dynamics CRM. In that scenario, we are selling solar panels, and we want to generate a quote document. And what do we have? Let's just open the solar panels. We're selling solar panels, and here we have a quote ID. We have here 3 different products which we want to include in our quote document. Of course, for example, we have here the customer to whom we want to send the quote, and we have some further information. Good. And then here we are within Dynamics. But I'm not just limited, again, to data just from one system. So in that scenario, I'm integrating data from here, but I'm also integrating data that I've stored on SharePoint, documents that I've stored on SharePoint to be included in my quote. Because a quote for solar panels tends to be quite detailed for sure. And just to quickly show you what those documents are, I think I actually have them already open here. So here we have a folder with the quote ID, and we have 4 documents here uploaded. We want to include, for example, here this text block, so to say, a cover letter, sunshine hours in Fürth, where the solar panel should be installed. We want to include a PowerPoint presentation. We want to include some information from Excel also in our quote document, which of course with live data and so on. And now basically I have again various options on how I can create the quote. The first one is I can go in my Dynamics and I can generate the document. I could just return it as a PDF. I could send it by email. I could download it from. I could store it to Teams or to SharePoint. Of course, Teams we're going to show you in a second as well. Or I could just let the document be returned to me. And this has happened right now. Here, so this is another template in the background. We can see here a quote. We've included a logo. We've included customer address data coming from Dynamics. Here is the first Word document we've seen that was stored in SharePoint, so different data sources. Here's a QR code, a dynamic table with data coming from Dynamics. If, for example, there would be 5 products, the table would have 5 lines. If there was one product, it would have only 1 line. That was the Excel we've seen, where I've updated the hours, and then down below also a picture of the PowerPoint. Good. So that, once again, that was the first option. I click the button, let the document be generated. But then I can also do Power Automate and do the magic. I, for example, see, okay, there's a 25% discount, and before I already gave it quite a big raise to Fabian, so now I'm also going to be quite generous to my customers, and I'm going to say there's going to be a 30% discount. Have a good day today. And now in the background, again, a Docs42 Power Automate flow is started. In that case, with a Dataverse trigger, a document is generated and stored for me on SharePoint and also available on Teams, which I'm going to show you in a second. First, let's have a look at the connector. So basically here it's a Dataverse trigger. When something from quotes is added or modified, then the Docs42 service is called, a document is generated, and with data from Dataverse dynamic data stored on my SharePoint. Let's have a look in my SharePoint. That's here within my sales quotes. We will then see in a second that the document should be there. Did I even save it? Let's just reload it. And let's just check once again if the 30 is there, the discount is there. Okay. And then I'm going to my Dynamics documents. And let's see. There is sales quote. About a minute ago, now it's there, we can see it. Maybe I just overlooked it before. The document is there, modified by me with dynamic metadata once again. And if I open it and scroll down, we can see the 30%. And the document, I've opened it now from SharePoint, but of course I could also do all of that within Teams. And a lot of people mentioned before that they're interested in Teams. So now I'm going to show you a scenario like that also within Teams. So I'm here within Teams. I have different channels. And maybe let's switch back to the HR scenario again, because there's also something else which you haven't seen so far. So here I just have my Teams channel. I can post and chat whatever I want. And then I have, so let's just reload my employee contracts here. And I also have an employee list. So basically I'm here again with the SharePoint scenario we've seen before from PowerApps and also from Flow here within Teams. And I have a list of employees, and now I want to generate a document for them. And I want to generate this time not a contract, but I want to generate a report, a sales report, and that should not be based on Word, but it should be based on PowerPoint. And I say, okay, I want to know the numbers of Angela, and I want the numbers of Claudius and Dr. Cloud. And I'm here really just within Teams. I here have the button again to click on Docs42, And then I can say, okay, if I want to open it as a PDF list, if I want a sales report in PowerPoint, if I want to save it, send it, and so on, which design I want. I say I want this design and I want to save it. Okay, so now Docs42 again is doing the document generation. I'm here within my teams and I stay within my teams. And now Docs42 is pulling in PowerPoint templates, because the templates cannot just be based on Word, but also on PowerPoint and Excel. Generating the document, and now I didn't download it, but I said store it for me in my teams. So I'm here in my target library. I have a PowerPoint added by me. So again, the metadata and Active Directory impersonation. And then we can see here everything within Teams. I now have a PowerPoint presentation, 3 employees, and all of them have different numbers and figures. So we can see here dynamic charts. So those are the numbers of Angela, but then Claudia's is performed completely different. So we're integrating a dynamic chart here. And also here in that scenario, we're using data from SharePoint, but also from our ERP system in the background. So integrating different data sources. And in Teams, of course, what we've shown you that you can manage your templates from SharePoint, you could also manage your templates from Teams. For example, here we have the HR Docs42 templates, and they are also available to you from Teams. So if you invite your co-workers that are also the Docs42 template designers to this Teams channel, you could really collaborate also on the template design there. Good, lots of demos. Fabian, let's get back to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Lisa. And Ella, could you share my screen again? Perfect. Thank you so much. So we have 15 minutes left, which is great, because I would like to show another scenario, very quick scenario, because we had it in the question, the second question. There was this digital signing. And basically, when I get my contract, my own contract with 7,000 euros, I would like to sign it immediately. And that's the reason why I jumped back to SharePoint. And I would like to show you our DocuSign output action. In this case, it's DocuSign because we are a technology partner with them, but could be any other signing tools as well, of course. So here's my contract, 7,000 euros. So let me click here on the button. And again, I can just click here on that's basically a SharePoint app. And all the scenarios that we have seen were with our Docs42 online cloud service. So we have an on-premise service or we have a cloud service. And if you would like to test also Docs42, your server, this is up and running within 2 hours. So within 2 minutes, you get your server, of course, it's cloud service, but then within 1 or 2 hours, it is up and running and you can start immediately generating your documents. But let me jump back into the scenario. So I'm here with the output actions and we saw a lot of them so far. So we had the return action, we had the save to SharePoint action, we had email action, and now I would like to do the send via DocuSign. So I click here on the button. The document will be regenerated again with 7,000 and it will be sent directly to DocuSign now. And DocuSign sends it directly to the email address, which is set up here. It's Michaela in this case. So I will open my email account. I also have Michaela here in my email account. That's the older version here. And you see it here. A lot of contracts are coming. All the flow contracts are coming. And this is our demo account from Christian Bauer, and here's our contract. So let's download the pictures. This is how it looks like from DocuSign. I got my contract here, and now I can say, let's sign it. So open DocuSign here. We can review the contract directly within DocuSign. So I click here on continue. This is all DocuSign. So you see it here. This is my contract. Where's the 7,000? Here it is, which is great. And then we had a signing tag, which we hide it, and here's the signing tag. And of course, in this case, I selected Michaela. So Michaela Mitarbeiter is our signing here. In this case, it would be valid. It's Fabian, but in this case, we had just a fixed user for our demos now here. But of course, you can use the entire metadata from SharePoint as well. Yeah, and then you select your signing, you say you save, and then here your signed contract is there. I click on finish, and DocuSign, of course, sends you automatically your finished and signed contract directly to your email address again. So we have the new contract then here, the signed contract. Here I get the copy, the attached document, which Docs42 generated, and is signed by DocuSign here at the end. So it's the same contract. You see it here with red confidential, with barcode, with the 7000, and with signature. But yeah, sure. As I said, it's just for demo reasons here. Okay, perfect. Then let me jump. So we had a lot of demos now. So let me jump back to a little wrap up slide that you get the overview. So we saw a lot of demos. We just would like to show you the key benefits, some of the benefits of automation. And yeah, we basically have seen just the return action, and then we have seen our email action. We have seen a lot of document generation and save to SharePoint actions, and also PowerApps, also Flow. So it's completely up to you where you would like to generate the documents, and also which flow, which workflow should generate your documents. So you see, we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to document generation, and when it comes to your systems, it has to be integrated, or also even just where you would like to generate. And then designing, as we said, we have it seen. I just added a barcode with it one click, and I just changed the color to the data fields. Everything happens in Microsoft Office, so all the designing tools are available. Pretty easy, very easy, because everyone works with Microsoft Office. And we have the conditioning. We have seen the conditioning. So intelligent, high quality, because it is also Microsoft Office, and intelligent because you can automate. You can add conditions. You can integrate different text blocks, whatever you need. So you can really do what you need, and all whatever you need, you can be integrated. And what also is very important, of course, the time saver. As I said in the beginning, it saves your budget. And if you just automate your recurring documents, you will save a lot of time, and that saves your budget and also your energy. And so you see, basically, there is a document automation exclamation mark, and that's it. So automate your documents, especially if they are recurring. Good. That's the Q&A slide. So, Ella, do we have any questions so far, or is anyone here who would like needs an answer for questions?
We're eager to answer them.
Yes.
I have some questions in, so I'll go ahead and ask. So someone said, if call Docs42 is a premium connector, does it mean that every HR manager should have a Power Automate premium license?
That's a good question. So basically, yeah, Docs42 is a premium connector, and you could also use it as a custom connector. Basically, your company needs to have the premium plan so that you're able to actually use custom and premium connector. How Microsoft is then licensing that in detail, I would need to have a look, but basically, you will need to have access to the premium licensing to use the premium connector. Yes.
Can you use horizontal separator in the Word tables?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the beginning.
Can you use horizontal separator in the Word tables?
So we have a dynamic column. So using a table, you can use some columns, you can insert or just let them hide them. So more or less it could be done, but it's depending on the scenario of the customer, we have to have a closer look at it. But basically with the dynamic column, you could do the horizontal conditioning.
Exactly. And also if you, for example, have like a SharePoint multi-value field where you're like having like multiple entries of data which you want to extract, you could just also show them in Word, like separated by a comma, for example, or by a space. So it's really, really up to you how you would like to display that data.
Exactly.
Okay. What if I need a calculated value, like if salary is above 7,000 and an e-bike is requested, then take text from the next page, paragraph 7, mix with the selected values, otherwise take paragraph 6 and mix with the defaults?
Wow, that's a detailed question.
Very nice. So basically we have one feature and we can automate Excel in the background as calculation and charting engine. This is also what we did in our PowerPoint presentation, which Lisa was generating. So in the background, we can have an Excel and we can do the calculation, and you can use all formulas in Excel, and you can take the result from the Excel and put it into the final document. And all this happens in the background. You don't think that it's an Excel file. It's just in the background. It's in our engine included. So it happens with one click. Everything is calculated, and the final result will be integrated as you configured it into the document. So it would be possible. But regarding the e-bike and the numbers, I wasn't sure about the question in detail.
I think it's really also about like really complex conditions. Mm-hmm. So first of all, within the automate range where you set up the condition, you can make like really complex conditions and stacked conditions with and or not. You can do that. You can combine two conditions, and then we also have the dynamic field where you can really work with VBA to have really like small like programmatic conditions as well. So it's very, very powerful there.
Exactly. And during the conditioning, you can also use the Excel, the calculated value from the Excel file to add to your condition. So it's, I assume the use case that you were telling us is definitely possible.
Yeah.
Can you also output an X number of copies directly to a network printer?
Yes. So you can always just generate one document, or you can generate documents in a bulk. So for example, 10, 100,000 documents and so on.
Yeah, and the files, oh sorry.
And printing is also possible, yeah.
Will the file signed with DocuSign be stored temporarily somewhere else than SharePoint/Teams?
I'm sorry, when?
Will the file signed with DocuSign be stored temporarily somewhere else than Teams or SharePoint?
Basically, when you're using the Docs42 DocuSign output action, the file will be generated and just processed by the server. So it won't be stored anywhere. It will be sent directly to DocuSign, and DocuSign has its own DocuSign cloud, and then it's stored in the DocuSign cloud, but it's not stored anymore in SharePoint. You could combine it, that you say, okay, I would like to generate a document, save it to SharePoint, and the other action is to send it directly to DocuSign. But basically with the DocuSign output action, then Docs42 is over, it's out, it's then in the hands of DocuSign. It's just sent to DocuSign.
And then the last question I see here is someone asking, what is the pricing?
That's a very good question. We are very modular, so it's starting from 490 euros to, I don't know, it depends completely on your scenario, on your system, on the output formats you have. So if you have questions about that, I would say, so let me just jump to the next slides. We have contact details, so just directly contact us. We can have an individualized demo, we can have a look at your scenario, and then based on that, we can give you the different pricing indicator.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's all the questions, unless you have anything else you want to add before we wrap up.
Okay, that's perfect, because we would like to add one more time, we would like to jump back to the Lego one more time. So this is the last chance to scan your barcode and to participate in our quiz. And after that, the lucky winner will receive the master user.
Exactly. And yeah, of course, for any questions you have, or if you want to test Docs42 yourself, if you want a free trial, a demo, just either reach out to us directly or to docs42.com/contact, and then you'll find all the information. Also, lots of resources, tutorials, sample templates, so you can really try it yourself.
Exactly. Also, from my side, it was a pleasure one more time again being here. And I hope we see all together in person next year or something, and wish you all the best. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
On behalf of the community, thank you both for joining us here today for a great session, and we will share the recording with everyone else later on. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.